This is a Tape Deck podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Inside the Runner Studio. This is your host, Tom, and with me as always are Diana and Michael.
Hello.
Hello.
And we are joined by our soon-to-be new friend, Chad. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Michael is having a cat freak out, I'm assuming.
No, I just tossed my phone onto the floor.
Oh.
It just went flying for some reason.
Nice.
Chad, you come highly recommended by our friends at On the Runs, Eric and Erica.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I got to thank them because it was actually how I discovered this podcast was through On the Runs, listening to them. And then I listened to Erica's Inside the Runner Studio. And so I had said to myself, I definitely wanted to be a part of that sometime. And then I know you guys were looking for people to be on it, and I jumped at the opportunity because I just it's such a fun vibe, and just kind of really enjoyed listening to all those episodes. I went back quite a bit to listen to them. So yeah, so that's how I found you guys, was Eric and Erica. So I have a lot in common with them, given our geographical upbringings and
yep.
All being from New Hampshire and whatnot. And so we had a lot of connections. And so it's been a good relationship working with them.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, I think we're all pretty close now. Like we're just outside of Baltimore. Michael, you're just outside of Philly. And you're in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah. So I'm in Mount Joy, which is about 25 minutes out of Harrisburg. So my office where I work is headquartered in Harrisburg. But I work from home, but so I only have to go in my office a couple days a month. But yeah, so I live in Mount Joy. I'm like 25 minutes east of Harrisburg, closer to Philly. So,
gotcha.
and then yeah, like I hop over on take 30 over to 83, and I'm down in Baltimore in an hour and 15 minutes. So
yeah. When I used to work in the city, we used to have a ton of people commute in from Pennsylvania.
That area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I actually come down to Baltimore quite a bit because in my role with Believe in the Run, I mean, they're headquartered in Baltimore.
Oh, gotcha.
Right on Eastern Ave. So I come down to Baltimore quite a bit to either record stuff in the studio for YouTube, which I'll actually next Thursday I'm coming down to record a video review of a treadmill that I had sent to me. So I'll be down there for that. And then I come down whenever they have Believe in the Run events. For the most part, there's a party in August that they're having that I'll be down there for. So
that's very cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I it gets a bad rap, but I actually kind of really love Baltimore as a city. Like the aquarium's awesome. Like there was one year we got a family membership at the aquarium, and we brought our kids down like 4 or 5 times throughout the year, which made it worth it. We did Port Discovery, the children's museum. We did a membership to that and drove down. So we like coming to see. My wife and I a few years ago, before we had kids, we would come down to shows at the Hippodrome because we were both really into musicals. So Baltimore is a city, and I've been to tons of concerts down there too. So as a city, Baltimore is pretty. Ram's Head and Auto Bar.
Oh God, Auto Bar.
Yeah,
that was big when I was in college. I used to go to Auto Bar all the time.
Yeah,
screamo bands.
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw a couple of shows down in the lower level in the basement where they have that area right next to the stage, and you're basically can reach out and touch the band.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. Baltimore is cool. There's some bad parts and some people don't like it, but every city I feel is like that.
Every city. And I will say at the end of the day, having been to you get a lot of the kind of gentrified areas like Fells Point and all that stuff where, it's super clean. I mean, I've been down to DC. DC's taken a downturn. That place is kind of a dump.
I thought the same thing last time I went.
Yeah. We went down, I was down for, we were down for Cherry Blossom last year. And they had kind of put on airs a little bit because like it's a big weekend, and then we were down this past year. We went down to see Guster perform with the National Symphony Orchestra for my birthday.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was also cherry blossom peak bloom, and we were just walking around and like there's just like all the trash cans are overflowing, and there's just so much trash everywhere. And I like it may have been like that all the other times we went, but maybe I just didn't notice it. But it's very noticeable now.
Yeah, it's getting rough.
So you know the drill. We're going to ask you some running related questions, some non-running related questions, and get to know you. But before we do, can you kind of tell us how you got into running? And yes. I would also love to know the backstory behind your Instagram handle.
So I didn't get it. I was a late bloomer into running. I'm a big guy. I know you guys don't put up videos, but for those listening, I'm a bigger guy. I'm 6'3", 260. At my biggest, when I first started getting into running, this was back in late 2014. My wife and I decided we had gotten married in 2012. We decided, hey, it's time we buckled down. My wife and I both were unhealthy, a little bit overweight. So we decided, you know what, let's buckle down. Let's start getting healthy. We want to have a family. We were in our late 20s. We said, now's the time. So we got a gym membership. We started going to the gym, and I was strength training, doing classes and things like that, doing spin, but I wasn't running because I grew up hating running. I was a big guy. Like I say, I was a big kid. I was a big teen. I was a big young adult. Like I was just big. I was overweight. Running was not fun. It was not comfortable. So I never really did. I avoided it at all costs. Then I had a friend of mine, my best friend, who at the time was living in Columbus, Ohio, said, hey, look, I know you guys are on this health kick. Like there's a 5K out here for NHL All-Star Weekend, which was in Columbus, Ohio. And he's like, I know you guys are on this kick. I don't know if you're running, but if you want to run it, like I'm going to run it and you guys should train and do it too. And I'm like, yeah, sure. 5K. Like that's not a problem. Cool. Like, and then I Googled how long a 5K was because I had no idea. And I'm like,
it's terrifying. Like the first time you see it, I feel
and I'm like, yeah, 3 miles. Like, I've been working out. At that point I had lost like at my heaviest, I was like 300 and like, I think I was like 340. This was in like August of 2014. At that point when he's asking me, I had probably dropped like 20 to maybe close to 30 pounds. And I'm like, yeah, I could run 3 miles. I mean, and then I got on the treadmill for my next workout and I'm like, okay, yeah. Made it like a 1/10 of a mile or a 1/4 of a mile. I'm like, all right, I got to stop. Legs are burning, chest is burning. And I'm like, okay, it's October. I have like I think it was in January. I have like 3 months to get this. And I was like, okay, my focus now is this, time to dedicate. And I didn't follow any sort of like Couch to 5K or any training plan. I'm just like, look, let's try and you're going to alternate walking and running until all of a sudden your running is going to be longer than your walking. And then lo and behold, 3 months later, I ran the entire 5K.
Wow. Good for you.
And so and after running that 5K, I was hooked. I mean, I kind of it took a while to fall in love with running and training. But once I kind of fell in love with the be a little bit better each day and once I kind of got into a routine and rhythm and it became part of my life, it was like full steam ahead. I went from first 5K to first 10K within 3 months. So April, I ran my first 10K. Then that September, I ran my first half. And then the following April, I ran my first marathon. So I went 5K in January 2015 to marathon in April of 2016. So
that's bonkers. Like that's so quick.
And your first half was Bird in Hand, correct?
Bird in Hand, which is in Bird in Hand, Pennsylvania.
We've all done it.
Yeah.
We love running with the Amish.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. And then your first full was in Paris.
Paris Marathon. Yep. Yeah. So I wanted something big. We wanted something that was going to be extra motivating. And so we had also said, hey, last thing, because in the interim, while my wife was also crushing running and getting healthy, I mean, combined over the span of a year, a little over a year, we combined lost 200 pounds. And so she was crushing it, and we said, okay, we're now in the healthy point where we sort of want to be. Like, what else do we need to do before we have kids? And we said we want to go to Europe and we want to run a marathon. We combined those two ideas, and we decided to run the Paris Marathon, which it was great. It had the size of a major marathon without having a lottery or anything like that. I just had to stay up until 3 a.m. To register for it to make sure I got us a spot. So
yeah. Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I just like a year into running, I don't even think I had like a marathon on my radar. It was one of those things where it was, I'll never do that. Like that just seems crazy to me. So yeah, that's insane. That's like a crazy ride.
That's what I did.
in my running journey, it's had its ebbs and flows, both with like a running injury. Then I had a non-running injury that included a fall down the stairs and ankle surgeries and being put back together. Wow. Then life gives you your first kid, and then there's all that goes along with that.
Where's time?
Well, and then life gives you COVID, and then life gives you, when you go for your second kid, you end up with twins. So, life has its way of throwing its curveballs. And in between all those major life events, like I slowly got back into running, and then all of a sudden you get kicked in the teeth with, all of a sudden it's like, okay, your ankle has to be completely put back together, and you have to do a year's worth of PT before you can run again. Then, hey, like, here's twins, you're going to get 45 minutes of sleep a night if you're lucky. And for a year and a half. So like it was bonkers. But then, ever since August of basically 2022, which is like the most recent time when like I had gained back a lot of the weight I had lost, and I was kind of back at square one fitness wise. I'm like, nope, like need to get this back. Like my twins were, I think, like 16 to 18 months at the time. Our oldest was 4. I'm like, no, I got to get this together. I got to be that healthy parent for them. So ever since August of 2022, it's been like back on track, full steam ahead, all gas, no brakes, back into it. So it's awesome.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's wild ride.
Yeah. It's like the Mickey and Minnie's Railroad.
Yep.
And so what's the story behind the Instagram handle?
So Instagram handle came after I joined Believe in the Run, which my entry into Believe in the Run was a little fortuitous. I basically pitched them the idea of, hey guys, look, I think what the internet and the running community needs online is a bigger runner who reviews shoes and gear, because there's no one out there that looks like me that reviews stuff. So when I read reviews, I have to take everything with a grain of salt, because stuff may not work the same way as it does for someone who's 5'6" and 125 pounds. So So I pitched that to them. They loved the idea. They brought me on, and they basically said, they're like, hey, you got to come up with a nickname. And I'm like, oh, I'm not a super creative person. Like I just don't, and I'm trying to come up with ideas, and they all just they all just kind of sound kind of douchey. I'm like, oh, like none of these sound really good. and then like Robbie, he's just like, well, you can just call you Clydesdale Chad. And I'm like, perfect. Like that works. It's got the alliteration. And Clydesdale is like, that is a commonly used term, especially in like the triathlon space. And like a lot, like there are a bunch of races I see now these days that have like separate Clydesdale award categories where you put in like your height and weight, and you can qualify for certain awards. So Robbie basically called me, he's like, hey, we could just call you Clydesdale. I'm like, that works. And then it was available on Instagram, so I snagged it, and it's been like that for going on 3 years now. So
nice.
Very cool. Very cool. I love that.
All right, so we're going to jump into the questions. We're going to start with the running related questions.
Yeah, and I've got our first one, which is, what is your go-to post-run food and or drink?
Okay, so I don't eat before I run. So usually when I'm getting home from a run, I'm pretty hungry.
Yeah, starving.
I don't like the feeling of having food in my stomach when I run. Unless it's going to be a really long run and I can let kind of things settle over the course of the run. But like a 4 or 5 mile run, I'm usually not eating beforehand. So when I get home, I'm starving. So I get home and immediately I pour myself, I do a blender bottle with BCAAs, electrolytes, and then also creatine in it. And then I'll usually, if I have the time to do it, I will make myself some eggs and egg whites over toast. If we happen to have some breakfast meat laying around, I'll heat that up as well. Sometimes if I'm kind of in a pinch for time and I need to like get upstairs, shower, get the kids ready for daycare and summer camp or school, I'll just grab a protein bar. But if I do have the time, which a lot of times I do get out early enough that I have the time, it'll be some sort of egg with some seasoning. And
God, eggs are so good after you run.
Well, to me, it's such a complete food because you're getting well, and the reason I do eggs I'll do like a couple eggs and then like half a cup of egg whites. So you get like great amount of protein from the eggs and egg whites. You get a little bit of fat from the yolk. And then you get carbs from the bread. So you're really replenishing all sorts of macros.
You know, it's interesting because we ask that question a lot and everyone immediately goes to like lunch food. But most of the time after we run, we're eating breakfast foods because everyone gets up at the like butt crack of dawn to go out and run.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's like hamburger.
That's me. My alarm's already set for my long run tomorrow morning. So
God.
All right. So I have what is your worst toenail or chafing story?
Ugh.
Oh man. So I had signed up for the York, Pennsylvania half marathon last May, which was on Cinco de Mayo, 2024. I had said to myself, I'm like, look, you're getting fit, you're feeling good, you're running a lot. Like, let's go for a PR. I had set my PR at the Bird in Hand half that I had ran in 2015, and it had been like almost 9 years. So I was like, you know what? Let's go out. Let's set a new PR. It's on the York Heritage Rail Trail, so it's flat. It's fast. I had run a race the prior year on that rail trail as a 10 miler, and it was miserable. It was like August and 95% humidity and 90 degrees. It was awful. But I'm like, I know this rail trail. Like, it's an out and back. I can do this. So I trained my ass off, had a great training block, like hit all my goals, worked like crazy. And I was like fit, ready to go for this PR. Look at the weather a week out from the race and rain. And I'm like rail trail, rain. It's not paved. There's like short little paved segments where like cars can drive by, but it's just gravel. And I'm like, that thing's going to be a muddy mess. But I'm like, you know what? You've trained, go out and crush it. And so basically it started raining in the middle, like at night it started raining. So by the time we get there, it's already super wet. And then it just rained the entire time. Now, meanwhile, in preparation for the race, I had like done all my pre-race prep. I had gotten my outfit put together. I had like trimmed all my toenails. I had done like all the stuff.
The normal stuff, the non-raining stuff.
However, one thing I had forgotten to do was after I like did the regular trim on the toenails, I missed a toe when you do kind of the cleanup to make sure there's no sharp edges.
Sharp.
I had an absolute dagger on like my second toe of my right foot.
Oh God.
And this thing could have taken off a leg or something like that. So I'm running and I'm running in the Adidas Adios Pro 3. And I had them in like a light gray colorway with pink accents. And so I'm running and meanwhile, like race is going well. I'm running and I'm bust my ass. I'm on pace. I actually rolled my ankle at like mile 4 on a loose piece of gravel trying to avoid puddles. Pulled off for a few seconds, but I was good. I'm like, just go. And I go and I get close to the turnaround because it's an out and back. And I look down at the turnaround. My entire right shoe, which was a light gray, is now red. The entire shoe. And it's not just around the toes. The whole shoe is red. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, maybe when I rolled my ankle, I cut my ankle.
Oh,
But I'm like, you know what? It doesn't hurt. So let's just keep running. Keep running. Get to the end, bust my ass, PR by 2 minutes. And I get to the finish line and I have one gray shoe and one red shoe. And they have a guy there with a hose because everyone's legs are covered in mud. And they're spraying it off. And I'm pressing down on my shoe. And it's like a scene from Jaws. There's just like chum and blood just coming out of my shoe.
Oh my God.
Someone from the med tent sees this happening and she like pulls me over to the med tent. She's like, oh my God, take your shoe off. Like, and we take my shoe off. And we can't tell where I'm bleeding because it was such a small little cut on my big toe where my other toenail had dug in for 13 miles. And it was basically sealed up and wasn't bleeding because I wasn't running anymore. But when I was running and pushing off on my big toe,
it was like just squeezing
it was
blood
just
out.
squeezing blood out the whole time. So 13 miles of bleeding. And so I think I have a picture of it, but of my shoe that day. I ended up throwing away, or I brought the shoes home. I'm like, maybe I can salvage these. And I left them in the garage overnight to dry. And they smelled so bad because a combination of like mud, blood. Like, it was awful. So I ended up throwing them away. But that was,
oh my God.
and I also, I mean, it didn't impact me because, like I said, it never actively hurt. Like it wasn't like, oh my God, I have this pain in my toe. But like, because it was such a small, clean, like little cut, and it was just over and over and over.
I'm surprised it didn't like sting. You know, like when you get like a paper cut, it doesn't really hurt, but it stings.
I was shocked, and that's why I thought I had like cut my ankle, and I just like it had been bleeding down into my sock or something. But no.
Oh
God,
man,
wild!
I really want to see the shoe now.
Oh my
God!
I'll
forward a picture. Maybe you can use it as the cover art with a not safe NSFW warning.
I'll tell you. Wow. Well, I get to follow that question and answer with, do you run with music?
I do. So I always run with headphones. I have to. It's a combination of a motivation thing and also kind of an ability to like, I have a hard time losing myself in silence or like just nature noises. I need some sort of background stimulus to be able to kind of keep my head on the goal. I'll listen to music. I would say about 60% of my runs, speed work and tempo runs, anything speedy. I always listen to music because I always tend to run better listening to music. I find stuff with I have a great playlist that I listen to. Yeah. If I'm doing like a long run or just kind of like an easy 4 or 5 miles, I'll listen to podcasts and like catch up on podcasts and things like that. But sometimes when the motivation starts to go, or I'm like 3/4 of the way through, I'm like, yeah, I need a little bit more pep in my step. I'll turn music on.
Yeah, I can't. I know a lot of people listen to like, I mean, probably this podcast, right? Like when they run, I can't listen. I used to be able to like listen to talking when I was running. And now I feel like I almost like slow down. Like I almost want to walk because I listen to them when I go for a walk, but I feel like I like almost completely stop doing what I'm doing if I'm like listening to people talk. But if it's music, I'm like bouncing with the music.
Well, and a lot of the podcasts I listen to, I'll either listen to like the Believe in the Run podcasts, The Drop, or I'll listen to On the Runs. And because I know those people and like actually interact with them in real life, it's kind of like, all right, well, I know them. So I'm kind of on a run with friends. Like, so that kind of adds a little level of distraction. Other things where it's like people I don't know or stuff like that, then it can get a little more distracting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So our next question is, do you have a running mantra?
Running mantra. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I mean, there's a lot of things that obviously like kind of go through your head of like, oh, just keep going, just keep going. I mean, that all is great, but like sometimes like for me, what helped me and what helps me still with every run is just get through the first mile.
Yes.
If you get through the first mile and you're not feeling great, fine, turn around, walk it in. Just get through the first mile because and I always tell people when they're like starting running and sometimes I ask for advice. I'm like, never judge a run by the first mile because the first mile it's gonna like your body. I don't care how many leg swings or breeze up and downs you do or strides, like the first mile is gonna suck. I mean, it just is. Just like when you're first getting into running, it's gonna suck a little bit. I mean, it's a perfectly apt metaphor. So yeah, just get through that first mile. And I have told myself that many times, especially like, I mean, I have a 12-mile long run for tomorrow, and I'll probably have to tell myself to just get through that first mile.
Yeah. Yeah, and that first mile is a liar about like what your body's doing and how it feels. Like,
that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, especially in my late 30s when I got aches and pains and creaks and cracks and all that other stuff, and you're getting your body,
loosen it all up. Like, it's gotta...
yeah. I mean, all those rubber bands that are basically holding my body together just need a little bit of stretching before they can work properly.
So would you rather train through winter for a spring race or through summer for a fall race?
It's funny. I actually just had this conversation the other day with someone, and it was because I am in training. I'm running the Chicago Marathon in the fall. I've never done a fall marathon before. I've only ever done fall half marathons, which, like, at the end of the day, like, training for a half marathon, like, you can train for a half marathon and never run more than 10 miles because, you know, that last 5K, I don't want to say it doesn't count, but in training, you get to 10 miles, you can do that last 5K.
Yep.
And so, like, as you're running through the summer, like, it's great when your longest long run ends up at like 10 miles. Yeah. And then I'm doing Chicago, I'm running it for charity. And then all of a sudden now, like, my first we went on a vacation. We were actually in Florida and we were at Disney for a few days. My long run, like when I first got home from vacation, was 10 miles. I'm like, are you kidding? This is my first long run is 10 miles, not my peak week is 10 miles. I'm like, geez. So I actually, where I live I live in Amish farmland here in Mount Joy. I actually live like right along a golf course. So what I do is I basically design like shorter loops. So I'll do like a 6.5 mile loop, came back home. I had some water and electrolytes at the end of my driveway and a metal water bottle, refilled my handheld, and then went out and did like 3.5 miles. Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't have to do that in the winter. In the winter, I won't even take a handheld if I'm doing 10 something miles. Cause like, I'm not sweating as much and I'm not a very super salty sweater. I do sweat a lot, but it's not, super salty. I'm not losing a ton of electrolytes. So for me, like winter all the way, like the two marathons I've done, which was Paris in 2016. And then I did Wilmington, North Carolina in 2024. I got to train through the winter. Now for Paris, we had an awful winter. So most of my runs were on a treadmill. However, when I trained for Wilmington, we actually had a very nice winter. And so basically, I think every run of that training block save one when it had there'd been a bunch of freezing rain and I almost busted my ass going down my driveway. But I was fully intent on running outside, even though there had been freezing rain, and then I almost fell. I'm like, I have a treadmill, just go in and use it. I will. This may very well be my last fall marathon because just the whole idea of like thinking about doing a 18 miler in August. And I'm just like,
Tom's doing 14 tomorrow. So
I have 12 on my schedule tomorrow. So it's,
I'm gonna get out early. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I'm up at 4:15 out by 5. So
I think that'll be my plan for tomorrow too. We're going to move into the random questions. What's one thing that everybody loves, but you absolutely hate?
Oh, what a good question.
Oh, that's a good one. So, I mean, there's a few things that I can think of that, like, I mean, a running thing that everyone seems to love that I absolutely hate is day before a race shakeout run. I'm
with you on that.
Yeah, it's not like I'm not superstitious. I'm only a little stitious. Nice. But like I don't run the day before a race ever. I just like, I'm not willing to risk stepping awkwardly on a curb or tripping over like a city sidewalk, especially in a place I don't know. Like I'm just not going to put myself at risk. And all these brands, and I know Believe in the Run actually hosts a ton of them. I think they do a lot of them at the major marathons, like 2 days before the race. But like a lot of brands will do like, hey, day before the race. And I think like the charity I'm running for in Chicago, they're like, hey, we're going to do a brunch and a shakeout run on Saturday before the race. I'm like, great, I'll meet you guys for brunch.
Yeah.
But I just, there's something to me. I mean, I think potential, and partially I think it's because I am a bigger guy and a bigger runner. Like even a 3-mile shakeout run for me, I still have to do some recovery for that. Like that's like, I mean, at 6'3", 260, like that's 3 miles of wear and tear on a body that's had a lot of wear and tear on it. Like I'm a Toyota Corolla with about 150,000 miles on it. I'm still running. Like I'm still running, and you can trust that I'm going to run, and I'm going to run pretty well. But like, you got to take care of me. Like,
oh my God, I love that. All right, our next question is, what's the last film you cried at?
There haven't been any recent one. Like I don't see a ton of. I mean, obviously, I'm married with 3 kids. I don't see a ton of movies now that aren't like Disney movies. Recently we went to see we saw Moana 2, which was good. There's one movie that it's from my childhood that I just can't help it. I always, and it's the typical guy one, is Remember the Titans. I can't, first of all, when it's on, I always have to watch it. If it's on, it hasn't been on TV recently. I haven't seen it. But yeah, there are just some scenes in there where it's just like, and there it goes. No control over it. Like I am just like weeping openly, and I just can't help it. And it's the one, I think it's like the most recent one I can think of. I mean, obviously I'm sure there have been some in the past, but the one most recently that I remember watching within the last few years that did that to me.
Yeah, that's a good one. They actually just showed that the Visionary Art Museum in Baltimore shows like Thursday nights they'll do outdoor movies, and they showed that this week.
That's
there you go.
Pretty apt.
Yeah.
Yep. In a movie about you, what actor or actress would play you?
All right, so this is going to be, so if I had to pick someone, I would say Zach Galifianakis. The beard. And I think he's hilarious. Like I remember watching him way back in the day with the movie Out Cold. I don't know if a lot of people have seen that. It's a snowboarding movie.
Yep.
And I can't remember who else is in that. There's quite a few people in that actually. Roy from The Office is in there. He's a bartender who like is gay or isn't gay. No, it's an interesting movie. It's actually very funny. But so, and actually as a little side note, I met my wife. We met at a Halloween party when I was dressed as Alan from The Hangover.
Oh, that's so funny.
I had like, and this was when The Hangover had like just come out. Like, I think it had come out in like 2008 or something like that. And, I had a satchel. I had like the exact outfit he wore when they were going out with the white jeans and the shirt that I got. I can't remember what store I got it from. One of those like trendy stores at the time. I had grown my hair out, so it was a little bushy. I grown my beard out, so it was bushy. So we met, and I was dressed as Alan from The Hangover. So yeah, I would say Zach Galifianakis would be the way to
go. It was love at first sight.
All right, hold on. I was just IMDb'ing Out Cold. If you could have coffee or drinks with any fictional character, who would it be and why?
All right. So this is another like combo of movies that is whenever it's on, my wife and we will sit down and watch both of them back to back. And it's National Treasure and National Treasure 2. So if I could sit and have coffee with Ben Gates, aka Nick Cage from that movie, nice. I love history. And so I feel like getting down and sitting and picking his brain about history and historical artifacts, I think would be really cool. And that, like I said, it's a movie. It doesn't matter how many times I've seen it. Anytime it's on TNT or TBS or something like that, yep. we'll sit, and we've seen them 20, 30 times at this point, both of them. And it's just on, and you watch it, and
immediately sucked in. Yep, I love it.
and every now and then I'll get up from the couch, and my wife she'll be like, or someone will be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence." Just and hopefully people get it, and yeah.
It's the greatest. I love it. All right. And then our last question before we move inside the runner studio questions is, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Or if you have any favorite sundae toppings, anything like that, all things ice cream.
So ice cream, my favorite independent flavor on its own is Moose Tracks. I just love, I mean, it's got the perfect blend of, you got the vanilla ice cream with the fudge ripple and the chocolate, and the mini chocolate peanut butter cups. I feel like it's just like, you get a little bit of texture from both the peanut butter cups and the fudge ripple. I feel like that's it's just perfect.
Peanut butter cups. For some reason, when you said Moose Tracks, I was like, is that the one that has marshmallow? But no, it's the peanut butter cups. That's right.
And like, if I were to be asked if I wanted a sundae, like, I know some people, like, I feel like it's actually very divisive. Like, some people are super pro this item, so some people are super against it. I love a banana split.
Me too.
But I have heard, and actually
people do not like them.
And I think actually it was a topic on Believe in the Run on their podcast. So they were debating about banana splits and whether they're the worst or the best. And I love them. Like, I love bananas. I'm a runner. I love bananas. But a lot of people are like, oh, banana doesn't belong with ice cream. Oh. And I'm like, oh, but you get banana, you get the 3 different flavors of ice cream, that you get the chocolate, vanilla, and the strawberry, you get the toppings on each of those. Like, I feel like it's just a great sundae. And a lot of people offer like, oh, like the brownie sundae or stuff like that. I'm like, no, give me a banana split.
I do. Well, I'll even, when I have ice cream at home, I'll sometimes like cut up a banana and put it in like a bowl of ice cream at home.
Well, and I had previously, when I was like, I think I was maybe 16 or 17, I worked in an ice cream shop, and they are a pain in the ass to make. So I feel bad for anyone who's got a 1 or 10 in a shift. But yeah, so they can be a pain in the ass, but I think that's where I would go for a sundae.
That is so fun, because I think I actually saw that on TikTok the other day. Someone was like, "Who is ordering banana splits?" And like it was like split in the comments.
It's probably one of the most divisive ice cream battles since chocolate versus vanilla. Like,
yep.
I will tell you, it will be a miracle if I make it out of this weekend without getting a banana split because of this conversation.
Gotcha. We'll go to DQ.
We got to find something.
Yeah. Oh God. All right, we're gonna head into the James Lipton Memorial questions, and always we start off with, what is your favorite word?
Favorite word, and I say it at least probably once a day, usually when something's bothering me, but atrocious. So it comes it comes basically, we had a substitute teacher, we were in 4th grade, named Mr. Levitt. And there was one day our teacher was out, and we were 4th grade, we were jackasses, or as a class, we all sucked pretty bad. And he was a younger guy. And at one point in the day, he just like slammed his book on the table, and he told us all that our behavior was atrocious. Meanwhile, we're in friggin' 4th grade. We're like, what? And I think someone was just like, had to have him explain what atrocious meant. Ever since 4th grade, like, that's been my favorite word.
It's stuck with you.
Oh, that's amazing. And what is your least favorite word?
I used to say it when I was younger, and like, I've taken kind of a step back, I mean, as I've gotten older, but like, in using it in the sense of like calling someone like, you know what, like, it has its anatomical use, which in its own regard is like as I've gotten older, I'm kind of like, I can't picture anyone saying that. And then like, I feel like I
call people that all the time.
I know. And it's funny because I used to be like, hey, stop being such a, but like, it's probably not my least favorite word, but it's the one that came to my head when I'm like,
it is bad.
I have actively like restrained myself from being, and like, partially, I don't know, like, I have 3 kids. I have like 2
Yeah,
daughters.
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
It
and then
feels
There's a
very
little-
80s and 90s.
There's like, there's a
Yeah,
little
80s.
misogyny that like comes with it.
Oh, yeah.
I feel
well,
like.
and truth be told, like I do, our son, so he has two sisters, and like he's 4, and he's kind of in that like not no longer a toddler, but like still not like a big
A
kid. So
kid,
he's
yeah.
got that like whiny sort of stuff. And like
yeah.
at one point, like under my breath, like he was whining about something. And under my breath, I walked away. I'm like, man, he's being such a pussy. And then I said it to myself. I'm like, ooh, I made myself cringe. I'm like, all right, yeah, I can't do that anymore. I can't do it.
Killed it.
That's it.
It's amazing.
He killed it. We say it about our nephew all the time.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I mean, if the shoe
So
fits.
bad.
Yep.
All right. This is where these take a turn. Chad, what turns you on?
So I love a good laugh. Like something about a laugh is just like very enticing. And when that was one of the things that first attracted me to my wife was we were at a Halloween party, and like obviously I'm dressed as Alan from The Hangover, and I consider myself to be a funny guy, and so like always when someone had a really good laugh, my wife also has a snort when she laughs.
I love it. So
She's
cute.
a snorter. She's a snorter when she laughs, and like the first time I heard that night, like instantly just like so attracted to her. Eventually, it made me fall in love with her. I think her mom told her when she was younger, she's like, no one's ever gonna love you with that snort in your laugh.
Aw.
And I'm like, are you
Aw.
kidding? I love that. Like that to me is just like, I love it. It's such like, I feel like that you can truly tell someone's personality by how they laugh. Like if someone has like a real hearty laugh, you know, like they're down for a good time and they're fun, and people
Mhm.
with like dry laughs, I'm like, not my vibe.
Yeah. And what turns you off?
Lateness or like inability to be punctual.
Amen.
I feel like it's just something like it feels like so disrespectful to someone else's time to like just be so flippant about like if you have plans like even when it's like you have an appointment with something and you're like, oh, I'll get there when I get there. It's like, yeah, like you are wasting that person's time. You're wasting the people's time who have appointments after you because they're gonna have to sit and wait. Like and like even for personal stuff, like you have like there was someone I was set up when I was in college. Like someone set me up on a date with someone, and like I think she came like 20 or 30 minutes late, and not even like, hey, I got stuck in traffic, or hey, I was working on an assignment, or hey, I had this. It was basically just like she sat down as if like that 20 or 30 minutes had like give me at
never
least an
happened.
excuse
Yeah.
to try and buy. But yeah, like
Yeah.
it nothing went on beyond that because like, and I've always had the mentality of if I'm not 5 to 10 minutes early, then I'm late.
It's Tom.
And so yeah. That's just how I think my parents always drilled into me, like how you treat someone else's time says a lot about you. And
Tom likes this because I'm always late and
I
he's
love
dragging
it.
me out of the
I
house.
absolutely love it.
And he's like, she's getting
well,
shamed.
and I'll tell you what, like the punctual person and the person who has no punctuality, they always end up getting married. And
Oh, yeah.
that's I always tell my wife, I don't say, I try to say it as playful as I can. I said she has a loose relationship with the concept of time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so-
You always think you have more time than you do.
Yeah.
Or what happens in our house a lot is like Tom has a time in his head that he wants to leave, and it's different from the time in my head where I want to leave, and he doesn't communicate that. And then he's like stressed, and then I'm like 5 minutes behind the time I want to leave.
Well, and that's actually what gives like my biggest. So like one of my biggest pet peeves is like impunctuality, but like one of the things that gives me anxiety is being late, missing something, like all that stuff. So like, and also at the same time, like I said, where my wife and I are like different in that regard, like when I get stressed and anxious and I start rushing things, like me doing that then gives her anxiety. And like, she's like, why are you rushing us? Why are you rushing us? And now she's like in that
Yep.
anxious. So it's like it's a no-win situation. So I try and just like bottle it
Right.
up and like keep it myself and just like, all right, I'll get the kids in the car. I'll do this. I'll do that.
And then
I'll
you're
like,
just watching her run from like room to room is what happens in
Yeah.
our house where I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, blah, blah, and I'm like in the bathroom and I'm in that other room. And he's like, what the hell are you doing?
No, my wife doesn't really. I mean, because it's hard with 3 kids,
Kids.
A 7.5-year-old and 2 4-year-olds, like to be on time for anything. And she's great. Like she helps me manage my anxiety with it, and she does a really good job with all of that. Even though sometimes I give her a lot of shit for it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, our next question is, what sound or noise do you love?
So this one goes back to my childhood. Like I grew up in the country in New Hampshire, kind of in the middle of the woods. I love, and it's like, it sounds weird even to think about and say, I love the hoot of an owl. It's such like a soothing noise to me, like especially if it's a little bit off in the distance. I mean, you listen to like, you have white noise machines that do like wilderness. I feel like they always have like the hoot of an owl. And we actually have across the street from our house, there are owls that have like a nest. So like at night, if I like go out and take the dog out, or like I just kind of go stand outside, I can hear like the hoot of an owl. For some reason, it's just such a soothing noise to me. Now I wish I could turn on like the wilderness white noise. My wife prefers it's either the river. I think it's like the river bubbling white noise on our white noise machine. I would prefer like a wilderness thing, but like I think that creeps her out. So
Oh yeah.
she's not an outdoorsy person. So but to me, just like that sound, it brings me back to my childhood where like we didn't have AC in our house. We slept with the windows open and just like the screen, and like I could just always hear that as I was going to sleep as a kid.
Very cool. And then what sound or noise do you hate?
This is super easy. The sound of someone else vomiting.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
When I'm doing it, it's like I'm experiencing it. I'm living it. Like I have to do it. Like I can't avoid it. The sound of someone else vomiting, it drives me to the point where I am ready to vomit myself.
Yeah.
It's just such
It's a
an
good one.
unpleasant noise.
Yep, that's a good call out.
Yeah.
All right. Now we get to Aaron's question. What is your favorite curse word?
Gotta
Yeah.
because it's just versatile. Like it can be a noun, like you can call someone it can be an adjective, like this is can be an adverb, like dumb stuck in traffic. Like it literally is the perfect word. It has so many uses. It can modify so many things. Like you can kind of make it a preposition. You say get out of the way because it's modifying way. Like it's just so
I love it.
perfect. I think it really just and if you deliver it with good gusto, it can just kind of like set the tone for the conversation.
Yeah, a good time, a bad time, anytime, right?
Yep.
I love it. And I also love how much Michael's going to have to edit. So I appreciate all of that.
That's so fun.
Oh, I got to fly.
I was wondering what you were doing.
Well, the problem is, so there's a fly flying around me on the screen above me. The problem is Jack hunts flies, and he's right behind me, and I'm waiting for him to come flying across here and get to fly on the screen. So I'm trying to stop that from happening is what's happening.
We have fly swatters in our house just because we get a lot of flies in, and our dog chases them.
Yep, our dog, is very into them.
Yeah, Jack is the fly hunter, and he's like right over my shoulder, and I'm waiting for him to like go like, and I'm like, let's not do that, please. So what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Ever since getting into like fitness and like I spend a lot of time at the gym, strength training, and I would love to do something like in the physical therapy or like strength and conditioning field. I sucked at science when I was a kid. I just like I didn't grasp the concepts as well as I did all the other subjects. And so I had to work a lot harder. So to me, having to work harder meant like I don't want to do it. And I wasn't into like fitness or anything like that. So being able to like learn those things now, like if I could, like if someone was like, hey, here's a bunch of money to go back to school and like so you could live on while you went back to school, I would definitely do like, because I would have to go back and take a whole bunch of science classes to be able to do that sort of stuff. But yeah, I took in college, I think I took my one science class that I had to take. I think I took like a chemistry class, and chemistry was chemistry and physics were the only two sciences I was good at because they were mostly math, or a lot of math
fair.
at least.
Yeah, a lot of math. Yeah. What profession would you not like to attempt?
Well, this probably actually goes back to the noise I hate, and that's probably like an elementary school custodian. Just because I think back to elementary school and like just how much puke there was. Like you'd just be sitting in first grade and like you look over and someone's thrown up, and then here they come with the sawdust or like the stuff like that, and they're throwing it. It's yeah. So probably elementary school, because like think about it, like you're probably cleaning up puddles of pee and you're in the bathroom, like kids are still learning how to like aim.
Oh
and,
my
like,
God, yeah.
You're cleaning up kid puke. It's just not for me.
A mess.
And major props to anyone who does it and can do that. Like probably a decent union job and good job getting that. But you are a brave soul.
All right, Chad. I get the privilege of asking you our final question, but before I do, thank you very much for being on with us. This has been awesome. So, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
So we talked about, I live on a golf course. I am a golfer. I've golfed my whole life. And so I would want him to say, you know, you did real good down there. You didn't do well. You did good. You want to play 9 or 18 today.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah. Because
very nice.
I'm hoping heaven's got some nice golf courses. That would be a goal of mine.
Well, hopefully there are less gnats on that golf course than there was on the course today.
Yeah, central Pennsylvania. Like I said, where I live on a golf course, and there's some ponds. It's like a link style course, and whole bunch of ponds, and actually right next to the tee box I live at has a pond. So sometimes if that water sits around too long and doesn't we'll get some fly stuff. And we had a few years ago we had a snapping turtle right after we had moved into the house that tried to take up residence under one of our vehicles. So
God.
Wow.
Yeah. That was fun trying to call like wildlife reserves and like, hey, can you come get, because we had 2 dogs at the time. We had a young toddler, and we're like, we don't want a snapping turtle living in our yard because we can't really send anyone outside to play.
Right.
Yeesh.
Are there any shout outs you'd like to give? Anything you'd like to plug?
Sure. So you can follow me on Instagram. I am at the Clydesdale Runner. You can follow a lot of my content on Believe in the Run. Like I said, they're headquartered out of Baltimore. They have a great YouTube channel. They have a podcast called The Drop. All the people there are great. Thomas, Robbie, Megan, the full-time employees, Carl, who does a lot of their videographer and content creation stuff. Helen, the office manager, she's great. We have a great review staff. So if you have any questions, if anyone has any questions about running shoes or running gear, even if you're not a bigger runner, feel free to reach out to me. I can either point you in the direction of someone, whether it's trail. I don't run trails, so I can point you in the trail world, someone who can give you some information. So follow Believe in the Run on all the socials. There's a lot of YouTube content, their podcasts. I am running the Chicago Marathon for a charity called Still I Run. It is a nonprofit organization geared towards ending the stigma surrounding mental health and also promoting the benefits of running on an individual's mental health. I am fundraising for them. I've done a pretty good job fundraising. I've already met my fundraising minimum, but any contribution towards a great organization helps. So in the link in my bio on Instagram, I do have my fundraising page in there. So like I said, follow me, reach out. I probably have 5 or 6 people a week reach out to me with shoe related questions. I do get to run in probably a couple dozen different pairs of shoes throughout the year to review. So I have a lot of insights and into different foams and fits and brands and stuff. So
yeah,
Very nice.
that's very cool. Very cool.
All right. Well, I never know how to end these things, so we will
You
say.
need like a sign off.
yeah,
I do
Yeah,
need
you
a,
need
I need
gotta-
like a good sign off.
5 years later, you need to come with a sign
Yeah.
off.
Maybe the awkwardness is the sign off.
The awkward
Maybe.
sign off.
Well, Chad, thank you very much for being on, and we will talk to you later.
Yeah, it
All
was
right,
so
thanks
great
for having
talking to
me.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean we're all so close, so let's either do a run event or we can do some sort of golf event, I guess.
Love it.
I'll meet
Tom's
you
always
half.
up for a
Oh
golf
my
event.
God!
Oh,
I'll meet you
Tom's
halfway.
ears
Let
just
me tell
perked
you.
up.
Yeah.
You